The alien market was alive with colors and sounds that no human had ever seen before. The sky above glowed in shades of green and purple, and floating lanterns drifted through the air like slow-moving stars. The stalls were crowded with aliens, of every shape and size, some with 4 arms, some with scales, and others with eyes that glowed like fire. The smells of strange spices, sizzling foods, and unfamiliar perfumes filled the air, and the human stepped cautiously onto the cobblestone path, feeling both excitement and fear. He had never been to a place like this, yet something inside told him that today would change everything. His name was Ryan, and he had traveled across the galaxy to reach this distant planet. Rumors had spoken of an alien market where the impossible could be bought and sold, and Ryan was here to see it with his own eyes. As he moved deeper into the market, merchants called out in alien languages, offering wares that seemed impossible: glowing crystals, weapons that hummed with energy, fabrics that shimmered like liquid, and creatures of all kinds. Yet one stall stood out from the rest, hidden between 2 massive towers of glowing containers. The stall was small but strange, covered in black silk that seemed to absorb the light, and behind it, a creature unlike any Ryan had ever seen waited. She was young, with smooth skin that shimmered faintly blue. Her eyes were wide and bright. Reflecting curiosity and joy, she did not look sad or scared. She smiled as Ryan approached, and her smile made his heart skip. The sign above her read in alien letters that Ryan could not read, but a translator nearby whispered, "Love slave for sale." Ryan froze. The words shocked him, yet he could not look away. The merchant, a tall alien with many eyes, noticed Ryan's hesitation and leaned forward, his voice like a hiss mixed with music. "She is special, stranger. She is not like the others. She brings joy to those who choose her, but beware. Her happiness is rare and cannot be forced." Ryan nodded slowly, feeling a mixture of fear and curiosity. He studied the alien girl. She giggled softly, her laughter like bells in the wind, and Ryan felt a strange warmth in his chest. Why was she so happy? Why did she smile at him? These questions spun in his mind. He asked the merchant, "Why is she so joyful?" "Most of these slaves seem scared or sad." The alien shrugged. "She chooses her owner in spirit before the sale. Only those who touch her heart will see her joy." Ryan did not fully understand, but something about her made him want to buy her, to know her, to protect her. He looked into her eyes again, and for a moment the market around them disappeared. He saw only her, only the light in her eyes, and he felt a certainty he could not explain. Without thinking too much, Ryan handed over the credits. The alien merchant counted them carefully, his many eyes blinking in approval, and then he gestured for the girl to step forward. She did so, her movements graceful, almost floating. She bowed slightly, and Ryan felt a strange thrill. She looked at him directly and said in soft alien words that the translator caught, "I am happy to be with you." Her voice was melodic, almost musical, and Ryan felt a shiver run down his spine. He nodded, unsure what to say, as they left the stall. Ryan felt the eyes of the market on them. Other aliens whispered and stared. Curious and suspicious, some laughed, some shook their heads, yet the girl did not seem to notice. She walked beside him, her hand lightly brushing against his, and she hummed a tune he had never heard before. The sound was calming, almost magical. The market behind them seemed distant, fading like a dream, and Ryan wondered if he had made the right choice. Yet, he could not deny the pull he felt toward her. Suddenly, a shadow passed over them, a tall figure wearing a dark cloak, the stranger's face hidden. Watching Ryan and the girl, Ryan felt a flicker of unease. The girl stopped and looked back, sensing the presence. She whispered softly, "They are watching, but do not fear. I will protect us." Ryan blinked, astonished. She sounded so confident, so certain, yet he had just met her, and already she seemed Stronger than anyone he had known, they continued through the crowded streets of the alien city, Ryan's mind racing, questions swirling, yet a strange calm settled over him. He had bought a love slave, yet she did not act like a slave. She was full of joy, full of life, and somehow he knew this was only the beginning. A story larger than the market, larger than the galaxy, awaited them, the neon lights of alien towers reflected in her eyes, and for the first time in his life, Ryan felt that the impossible might be possible. And as the sun set behind the alien horizon, painting the sky in reds and purples, Ryan glanced at her and she smiled, her joy radiant, her happiness infectious. He did not know what tomorrow would bring, but he knew one thing: their journey together had begun, and no one could guess the secrets she held, the adventures that awaited, or the truths that would soon shake the galaxy itself. The unexpected Joyrian led the alien girl through the narrow streets of the city, the neon lights reflecting off her shimmering skin. Each step she took seemed light, almost floating, above the ground. He could not stop staring at her. The way she moved was different from any creature he had seen. There was a confidence in her joy, a brightness that made the crowded, chaotic city feel calm. She laughed softly, the sound like tiny chimes, and Ryan could not help but smile. Her happiness was contagious, yet something in the back of his mind whispered caution as they reached his temporary quarters, a small room in a high tower with a view of the alien skyline. She looked around curiously, touching objects, humming softly, her fingers tracing the edges of machines he barely understood. She examined a human computer, tilting her head as if it spoke to her. Ryan tried to explain, but she shook her head. Gently, "I understand in ways words cannot tell," and Ryan realized she was far more intelligent than he had imagined. He expected fear. He expected confusion, but she only radiated joy, and that joy made Ryan feel strange emotions. Emotions he had never felt before. He felt protective, curious, and cautious all at once. She noticed his gaze and laughed. "Do not worry, human. I like being with you." The words were simple, but the tone carried a warmth that made Ryan's chest tighten. He wanted to trust her completely. Yet the shadow of the stranger from the market lingered in his mind. He could not shake the feeling that danger was closer than he thought. As the night grew darker, the girl explored more of the room, opening drawers, touching lights, and experimenting with human gadgets. Ryan watched her, fascinated, yet a sense of unease began to grow. He noticed subtle movements in her eyes, flickers of color he did not understand, tiny flashes like signals, as if she was speaking to someone or something far away, before he could ask. She giggled and said, "Do not worry, they cannot see me yet." Ryan froze, his mind racing. "They? Who are they?" Her expression turned serious for a moment, her glowing eyes meeting his. "The galaxy watches everything, human. Some want to stop me. Some want to capture what I carry." Ryan felt a chill, suddenly understanding that she was not an ordinary slave. She carried secrets, power, or knowledge that could change the galaxy itself. Before Ryan could respond, a loud noise echoed outside the window, a metallic hum that made the building vibrate. She instantly moved to the window, her body tense yet graceful. "They are close," she whispered. "But we can hide." She pressed her hand against the glass, and Ryan watched in disbelief as a faint shield formed around the room, shimmering like liquid, making them invisible from outside. His heart pounded. The joy she carried now mixed with fear, and he realized her abilities were far beyond anything he imagined. The night stretched on with tension and awe, Ryan learning small things about her, and she learning small things about him. Yet every moment carried a silent warning. Distant noises, strange shadows moving in the city, messages in alien code appearing on his devices. He felt the weight of the galaxy pressing down. But through it all, she remained joyful, never afraid, never hesitant. And somehow, Ryan felt hope. As dawn approached, the first light revealing, a city still alive with neon and movement, she turned to him and smiled, radiant as ever. "We will face them, human. Together." Her voice carried confidence. Her energy seemed to fill the room. Yet Ryan knew the next moments would test them both. Someone out there knew she was here. Someone out there wanted to take her. And he realized that buying her at the market had brought not just joy, but danger, of a scale he could not yet imagine. And as he watched the city waking beneath them, the alien girl humming her melodic tune, he understood that this journey was far from simple, far from safe, and far from ordinary. Her joy was not just happiness. It was a weapon, a signal, a challenge to the galaxy itself. And Ryan knew he was now a part of something much bigger than himself, something that could either save or destroy countless lives. The part ends with a sudden alert on one of Ryan's devices, a message in alien code, blinking red, urgent, demanding attention. The girl's eyes flashed with recognition. "They have found us," she said softly, yet with excitement, not fear. Ryan swallowed hard, the suspense hanging like a storm in the air. He did not know what would happen next, only that their adventure had just begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Secrets revealed, Ryan and the alien girl, whose name he had learned was Lyra, moved cautiously through the early morning mist of the city, the streets emptying as most aliens began their daily routines. Yet Ryan could not shake the feeling that they were being watched. Every shadow seemed alive. Every whisper of wind felt like a warning. He glanced at Lyra, whose eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. She seemed calm, even playful, humming her strange melodic tune. But Ryan knew there was more to her than he had realized. They reached a hidden elevator tucked behind a crumbling wall. Lyra tapped the control panel with 3 fingers, and it slid open silently, revealing a long shaft that led deep underground. "This is where I keep my secrets," she said softly, "and where the truth can be safe, at least for now." Ryan followed. The air growing cooler as they descended, the walls lined with glowing alien symbols he could not read, each one pulsing faintly, as if alive. The elevator stopped with a gentle hum, and the doors opened to a massive chamber filled with alien technology and devices that seemed centuries ahead of anything Ryan had ever seen. He gasped, stepping inside. "What is all this?" Lyra smiled, a small, mysterious smile. "These are my tools, human, my memories, my plans, the power I carry." She gestured to a glowing orb that floated in the center of the room. Inside, shifting images of galaxies, planets, and strange symbols. Moved like living pictures, Ryan approached, mesmerized. This is incredible," he whispered, but Lyra's expression grew serious. "It is more than that, human. It is a map of the galaxy, a map of power, and of danger. Those who want me will not stop until they take this from me." Ryan felt the weight of her words, understanding now that she was no ordinary alien, no simple slave. She held knowledge and power that could tip the balance of the galaxy. He looked at her, questions in his mind. But before he could speak, the orb shimmered and projected a holographic message. The figure of a powerful alien lord appeared, his face twisted in anger. "Lyra, you dare defy us? The human has no right to hold you!" His voice echoed through the chamber, shaking the walls. Ryan instinctively stepped forward. "Who is he?" Lyra's eyes flashed. "He is one of the galaxy's most dangerous leaders. He wants me and this knowledge to control all the systems beyond this sector. He believes no human could protect me, but he is wrong." She placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder, the glow of her touch spreading warmth and courage. "You, human, are part of this now, and your choices will matter more than you know." Ryan swallowed hard, fear and excitement mixing. He realized that buying her at the market had drawn him into something far beyond anything he could imagine. Suddenly, alarms blared. red lights flashing across the chamber. A force field flickered around them. Outside, sensors detected approaching ships. Ryan looked at Lyra. "They found us," he said, panic creeping into his voice. She nodded calmly. "Yes, and now you will see why I am not just a slave." She moved swiftly, touching a console, and the room shifted, panels sliding, revealing hidden weaponry, energy shields, and portals that could transport them instantly. Ryan could not believe his eyes. Her joy, her calm, her laughter. It was all part of her strength, part of her plan. She turned to him. "The galaxy is bigger than you think, human, and the people chasing me are not mercenaries. They are rulers, warriors, and spies. They will try everything, but together we can outsmart them." Ryan felt a mixture of awe and fear. She was not just a companion, she was a force, a mystery, and now his protector and partner. The stakes had grown unimaginably high. As the ships drew nearer, Lyra extended her arms, the chamber glowing with alien energy, the orbs and symbols spinning, projecting illusions, false signals, and traps. "They will see what they want, human, but they will not find us," she said. Her joy unshaken even in the face of danger, Ryan realized that her happiness was not naive. It was confidence, power, and knowledge. She smiled at him. "And when the time comes, you will understand why I am happy, why I chose to be with you." The part ends with the shadows outside the chamber growing, the hum of approaching ships louder, the lights of the chamber flickering like fire, Ryan gripping his side of the console, heart racing, and Lyra standing tall, radiant, her smile unwavering, ready to reveal more secrets and ready to face the galaxy's might head-on. The suspense thick, the audience left wondering what powers she would unleash next, and what danger would strike them first. The human advantage, the alarms echoed through the chamber, red lights flickering like warning fires. Ryan's heart pounded in his chest, but Lyra remained calm, her eyes glowing softly, the alien energy around her humming with quiet power. She gestured to him. "Human, it is time to show your value, not just your presence." Ryan froze, uncertainty flooding him. He had never been in battles like this. He had never faced alien warlords or forces beyond human understanding. Yet something in her gaze sparked courage. Through the observation panel, he saw the enemy ships approaching, sleek and deadly, glinting with alien weapons, their engines leaving trails of blue energy in the morning sky. "We cannot fight them directly. Not yet," Lyra said. "We must be clever, faster, unpredictable." She tapped the console, and holographic maps of the city appeared, showing pathways, shadows, and hidden areas humans and aliens alike rarely used. "You will guide us, human. Your perspective is unusual. The enemy will not expect it?" Ryan blinked, confused. "Me? Guide you?" She smiled. "Yes, human. You see the world differently. You notice small things, patterns they miss. Use it." Ryan took a deep breath, realizing that he was no longer a bystander. He was part of her plan, a small human against the galaxies, elite. Yet his choices could make the difference between life and death. The first wave of ships landed, their alien warriors stepping out, scanning for signs of Lyra. Ryan noticed shadows on the walls, movement in places they should not be. Instinctively, he pointed. "There, the sensors are weak there, we can slip through." Lyra nodded, touching his arm lightly, and a shield formed around them, bending light and masking their presence. They moved like ghosts through the abandoned streets, each step precise, quiet yet deliberate. Suddenly, an alien drone appeared, scanning for life forms, its sensors glowing bright red. Ryan froze, but Lyra whispered, "Watch and learn." She moved her hand, and the drone's signal split. Images of empty streets projected on its view, confusing it, making it think the streets were clear. Ryan's eyes widened, understanding that her power was not just strength, but deception, intelligence, and control. They continued moving, reaching a high tower. the perfect vantage point. Ryan looked down at the approaching forces, their numbers far greater than he imagined. Lyra placed her hand on the console. Energy, spreading, revealing hidden paths through the city's upper levels. "You will choose which route we take, human," she said, and he realized she trusted him completely. His mind raced, recalling old city layouts, patterns he had studied before, instincts taking over. "We go left, then up through the maintenance shafts. They rarely patrol there." Lyra's eyes shone with approval, and together they moved swiftly, silently, the city becoming their labyrinth, the enemy unaware of their clever navigation as they reached the top. Ryan noticed something strange, alien symbols etched on a rooftop, glowing faintly. "Lyra, what is that?" She frowned. "Traps, but also signals, messages hidden for centuries. This place is not just a city, it is part of a larger network." Ryan's mind struggled to understand, yet he felt the importance immediately. The enemy could use it to track them, but Lyra could manipulate it, turn it into a weapon, she whispered. "Human, your quick thinking has saved us time, and perhaps lives. Now we use their own system against them." Ryan watched in awe as she touched the symbols, energy flowing into the streets below. Holographic, illusions forming, alien forces running into traps they did not see, their ships misdirected. Ryan felt a surge of pride, realizing that humans, small and underestimated, could be deadly when paired with intelligence and courage. The part ends with a massive ship hovering above the city, lights scanning, weapons primed, the alien commander, watching rage in his eyes. But below, Ryan and Lyra disappear into the shadows, their laughter soft, joyful, and full of confidence. Yet the danger is far from over. The galaxy itself, now aware that a human and an alien girl, once called a slave, could change the course of events, and the audience is left wondering, what will the commander do next? How will Ryan's human advantage continue to save them? The ultimate confrontation. The sky above the city burned with the red glow of alien warships, their engines roaring like thunder. Ryan stood beside Lyra on the rooftop, wind whipping around them, the city stretching below like a maze of light and shadow. He could feel the weight of what was coming. This was no ordinary fight. It was a battle that could change the galaxy itself. The enemy commander's voice boomed through the city's communication network. "Lyra, surrender now, or face total destruction." Ryan's jaw tightened, anger and fear mixing, but Lyra only smiled, her eyes glowing. "They will learn that fear is useless against joy and courage." Without warning, the first wave of elite alien soldiers appeared. Descending from anti-gravity dropships, weapons charged, scanning for any movement, Ryan's heart pounded, but he followed Lyra's lead, ducking behind walls and using shadows to remain unseen. She moved like a living force of nature, her energy, shields flickering as she manipulated light and sound, creating illusions, confusing the soldiers. Turning their own weapons against them, Ryan followed, imitating her movements, using human instinct and cunning to mislead their attacks as they advanced toward the enemy flagship. Ryan noticed the commander standing at the bridge, a massive figure surrounded by armored guards, his eyes filled with rage and disbelief at the chaos below. "Human, you are more dangerous than I imagined," he growled, firing energy pulses toward the rooftop. Ryan dodged barely, the force slamming into the wall behind them, dust and sparks flying. Lyra turned to him. "Now, human, it is your moment." Ryan's mind raced. He remembered the hidden pathways, the maintenance shafts, the alien traps they had passed earlier. "We can use their own defense system against them," he shouted, pointing to a series of conduits leading straight into the command deck. Lyra nodded, her hands glowing, and together they moved, blending her alien power with his human insight. They infiltrated the flagship's core, passing traps and guardians, using stealth speed, and misdirection. The tension unbearable, each step a gamble between life and death. Finally, they reached the central chamber, the commander waiting, energy crackling around him. "You dare challenge me?" he roared, firing blasts that turned walls to molten metal. Lyra deflected with shimmering shields, her joy unbroken, her laughter echoing like music. Ryan's heart raced, but he took a deep breath, remembering the lessons of the city, the shadows, the illusions, and with one swift move, he activated the conduits, sending energy surges through the enemy's systems, weapons malfunctioning, shields collapsing, soldiers frozen in confusion. The commander's eyes widened in shock, rage turning to fear. Lyra stepped forward, radiant, her energy overwhelming, and Ryan realized she had been testing him all along, pushing him to see his value, to use his mind and courage. Together, they unleashed a combined attack, blending human ingenuity and alien power. The flagship trembled, alarms blaring, and then silence. The enemy forces retreating, their ships exploding in the distance, the city safe. For now, Ryan and Lyra stood on the bridge, breathing heavily, the galaxy watching, their bond stronger than ever. He looked at her, awe and admiration filling his heart. You could have done this alone," he said, his voice shaking. She smiled, soft and warm. "Perhaps human, but together we are unstoppable. Your courage, your mind, your choices, they matter as much as mine." Ryan nodded, understanding for the first time that humans, small and underestimated, could change the course of the galaxy when paired with the right ally, as the sun rose over the city, casting golden light over the ruins and the victorious pair. Lyra's joy seemed brighter, more alive than ever, and Ryan felt hope, pride, and an unshakable bond. The ultimate confrontation had ended, but their journey was far from over. The galaxy had noticed, and whispers of their deeds would echo across. Stars and systems leaving enemies wary, allies inspired, and humanity a force to be reckoned with. The part ends with a distant signal, blinking urgently on one of Ryan's devices, unknown but powerful. A new threat, or perhaps a new ally. And Ryan looked at Lyra, her smile still radiant. Human, the adventure continues. And Ryan smiled back, ready for whatever the galaxy could throw at them next.